Okay, I think I've muted everybody. All right, I think we're ready to get started. We're so excited.
I see Krista and Becky. I know them very well. Oh, love them.
You have your own fan club here. Trust me. Trust me, trust me. And I think Lee is at, she had a service she had to go to in East Texas, so she might be listening on the phone, but I know that she is, anyway, I know you wanted to see her too, but we're just so excited to have you on and thankful to have you here. Welcome to the Wow Wednesday call. That stands for Words of Wisdom Wednesday. We do that this, first Wednesday of the month, and it's just fitting, obviously, to have you on here, especially during November, the month that we try to, remain thankful and think of all the things we're thankful for. And you are one of those people for me and so many. I know you love it when people gush over you, but you're just that mentor, that person that, you couldn't have told from our team page this week. I mean, people were just going on and on about what an impact you've had on all of us in our businesses. And seriously, you played that vital role for me. You've taught me so much from the beginning when we had no resources. We had no one that knew what they were doing. Like, we were blind leading the blind. And, we find you and Sarah Marvel on YouTube. I think every single day I looked at YouTube to see if you had a new video before I drove into work, because that was it for me. Like, I am going to listen to this every single day over and over and over. You taught me about network marketing. You taught me about building belief, about the tapes, that we play in our head, and being a self-starter and overcoming objections, all of it. And oh my gosh, the comp plan video and the product video. I mean, I had to have watched that thing 100 times. It's
You're killing me.
But seriously, you've impacted us in huge ways from the very get-go and become a dear friend. I went from girl crushing and crying the first time I met you, like total fangirl, to a dear friend of mine who you literally just love people so well. You never meet a stranger. People feel like you're the only person in the room when you talk to them, and that is such a gift that you bring people. You're good at relationships, and that's why you're so successful, and that's why we just love you. So I'm going to let you take the floor, but thank you for jumping on tonight with us and pouring into our team and loving us. And I know it's, you can be with your family, so we so appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Jen. I literally, that was overwhelming. I hear things sometimes, but I mean, that it's like, I truly know how long you've been in Plexus with me. Like, we've known each other a long time, and, just been through a lot of conversations together and a lot of events together and a lot of messages together. And, if you live near me, we would be hanging out a lot, because you have a heart for people like I have a heart for people. And that's why you're a great leader. And that's why you have a team that the ones I have met, I truly am in love with, because they reflect their leader. People reflect who they follow. And so kudos to you for being just a dynamic person, and your character and your morals, and it reflects in your great team. And I know your team adores you. I mean, look at the messages coming across. I mean, so yeah, I get really sappy, and really, I'm such a ugh. And sometimes I go, oh Lord, like, why did you give me so much touchy-feely emotion? But it's sometimes we just have to embrace who we are and just know that it is okay, and it's there to make a difference for somebody. And so thank you. I love you so much. I get asked a lot to do these, and I can tell you that this one was one I was looking forward to. The minute you asked me, we set a date, never changed it. Like, I couldn't wait to do this. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Okay. Well, I'll just share a little bit of my story. So for those of you who maybe have heard, parts of it, or you've seen it on YouTube, maybe I'll give you a little backstory, just so you understand, really who I am and where I come from. And, you look at sometimes, I know, you look at top people in the company and you think, that's great. I'd love to be a diamond, but I mean, seriously, like I could never be a diamond because look at them. I want you to understand that, well, first of all, I dressed up for you tonight. I did. I dressed up on purpose because I've got decent clothes, but this is really who I am. I'm a sweatshirt, yoga pant, no makeup. I put makeup on because I had something else. Honestly, I wouldn't have put it on because it's like you get to a point where you realize, you know what, I just am who I am. If people can't see my heart for this and they have a problem with this, and that's the way I hope all of you can get to is, yeah, my little dog, right? That's the love of my life. Let me just say right there.
Let's just
Harley. Hi, there's Harley. Hi, buddy.
Does he have a snaggle tooth? He does, right? Like a little snaggle tooth coming up. Does he?
Is she talking about you, or is she talking? Yeah. I think he might, but I don't see the flaws. So, there we go. But, I started network marketing. I was 19 years old. I was in college, and my aunt said, hey, you need to do Mary Kay because, it's fun. It's great. You love makeup. You love women. You should do this going to college. You can make some money. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that sounds like fun. Well, she told me I needed to go borrow $1,000. Now, this was in 1980. Wait a minute. This was in June of 1989. Y'all, that's 28 years ago. That was a lot of money. That's like $2,500 today. Okay, I'm getting on up there. So I said, okay, if I need that inventory, I'll do it. So my mom went to the bank with me. We co-signed my first note. My payment was $63 a month. And I would sell product, and then I would pay my loan. And, the rest I would profit and put back into inventory. Well, my senior year in college, I quit to go full-time with Mary Kay. And I wanted to win my first car. I went to my first convention, and I said, when I went to my first convention, and I encourage you, if you've never been to a convention, it's life-changing. Even when you think, I don't have the money, I don't need to take time away from my family, let me say this. It was my priority. My family, my boyfriend, who's now my husband of years and years, they knew that this was my chosen career path, and I only had 3 or 4 events a year I had to go to. So, that was on the calendar, and everything else worked around that. That shows people you are serious. So if you've not been to convention, you put it on your calendar now, and you say, I have 10 months, 9 months to save up money to go. I'm going. It's important to me. It's important for my future. So after that convention, I caught the vision that this was what I wanted to do. They were there because they helped enough other people get what they want. So if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. And I loved that concept. So I thought, this is my heart. You mean I can make money living out my heart? Like, this is great. So I thought it was going to be easy. Right? Just love on people and sell some lipstick. But network marketing is easy when you're working through your warm market and it's brand new. That's when it's easy. And when the rubber meets the road is when the new's worn off, your warm market is gone. That's when you start a business. All that other is just easy. That's when we lose a lot of people. That's because they don't have the right mindset. They don't have the right expectations. And they set themselves up from the beginning for disappointment. So what I want to talk about, I did that journey for 17 years, full time. I quit college my senior year. Don't do that. I needed 21 hours to graduate. I did not finish, and I did that business full time for 17 years. Now, I gave up that business. I was in a lot of debt from that business, from the inventory. I worked harder, way harder than I've ever worked in Plexus. Did parties, traveled, had a secretary, did a newsletter every month. I mean, it was very, I was on the phone all the time. And I think the most I made was probably 50 or 60,000 my last couple years. But I owed, I mean, if I could have used all that money, I would have paid off debt, but I had to live a little, we had to pay bills. So I kind of given up network marketing. I had a lot of disappointments, and I want you to know that people will always disappoint you. That is not a negative statement. You need to be armed with people are going to disappoint you. But see, you don't need to let them. I'm moving on to find other people who want what I have. So people are always going to disappoint you. Be ready for that. And one way to be ready for that is you have to work on your, I don't like the word confidence, but your self-image. Your self-image, a healthy self-image will produce confidence. You want to get to the point where someone's opinion of you does not change your path in your life. Someone's negative comments about you, someone talking about you, and then someone telling you what they said, that does not change your whole destiny. I mean, how sad that you would, in your 60s, 80s, 90s, look back and wish you had pursued your dream, but you didn't, because it's ingrained in you what someone said about you, or someone thought about you, or a comment someone made. Don't allow that to happen, because it could happen every day. We all have people who, say things about us. They don't like us. You don't need people to like you. You need people to respect you. You need people to, really don't need people to, if they don't want what you have, you just have to move on. So is someone, I don't know, is that?
Okay, let me unmute you. Sonya, can you hear me? Can you unmute yourself? Sorry, honey.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear me.
Good. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about your mindset. I'm going to go back to self-image, but I want to talk about mindset. I didn't really understand, all those years people would pour into me. I would go to conferences. I would go to seminars. I would go to John Maxwell a lot, Les Brown, Zig Ziglar, all these great people I would go see. I didn't have the money, but I would go because my upline said, you need to go. And I would pour into myself, but I never really understood, because I would come home and I would then tear myself down. Like, I got all this great information, but then I would say, well, that's great, but I'm scared to do this, or I can't do this, or I'm not good at this. I didn't realize the mindset piece, how crucial the mindset piece was until several years in. And I remember learning about, like, your mind is like a computer. Your mind is like a computer. And, if you don't think you have a subconscious mind, think about this. How come we can repeat a song or repeat a commercial that we really didn't, try to learn, right? We just heard it in the background several times. We're washing dishes and it's on the television. But we know the jingle. It's like, what? Where'd that come from? Where did I hear that? we have a subconscious mind that is picking up everything in the background. So that's good and that's bad. And I'll tell you the good about it is that your mind is absorbing it. Your mind is like a computer. Whatever goes in, it's saving, and then it pours out. Like when I put something in the computer and I hit save, you know, it's very easy. The more I go to it, I remember where it is, and it's quick to come back to me. So you've got to be careful what you're allowing in. And so the year that I learned a lot about mindset and self-talk, I remember I recorded, and y'all, this dates me way back, but we had cassette tapes at the time. And do any of you remember cassette tapes? Yes, in the 80s, thank you. Early 90s, we had cassette tapes, and I bought an endless loop. It's called you can't get them anymore. Now it's on your iPhone or your Droid, but it was an endless loop. Oh yeah, 8 tracks. Yay, 8th grade. I got a blue one for Christmas, like a blue 8-track. But I remember this cassette was an endless loop. So what I would do is I would record my goals. I would record my affirmations, my challenges in a positive present tense on that tape. And I would and we had at the time, it was called a Walkman, y'all know. And so I would lay that little Walkman beside my bed, and I would put well, they weren't little. I would put headphones on my ear, and I would let that play through the night. And people go, well, I don't know how to do an affirmation. Well, just let me simplify it for you. If you say, I'm just so shy, I don't know how to talk to people. Like if you affirm that all day long, and every time you're in a situation, you're saying that to yourself. Well, you know, it's very biblical that what you put in, you get out. You reap what you sow. You can't plant corn and get carrots. So if you're saying all day, I'm not good with people, I'm shy, I'm not good with people, then congratulations, because you're getting what you're saying. We're programmed, and we have to figure out, okay, how can we change that? So to change that, you would catch yourself. You become aware of what you're saying that's not productive, and that's not productive. So you would say, wait a minute, I am great with people. In fact, everywhere I go, people love to talk with me. I walk in a room and people are drawn to me. I enjoy talking to people. I thrive talking to people everywhere I go. I am so confident that people love to be around me. You know, so you just kind of have a conversation with yourself. That's what an affirmation is. Just have a conversation. One of my challenges is going to the gym, working out. So I have a whole thing on my app that is about, I love to sweat. I enjoy going to the gym. I jump up every morning. Absolutely can't wait to get to the gym. I mean, that is my affirmation. I don't like it, but I have to do it. Because here's the deal. If you don't do what your soul knows you need to be doing, you're constantly in turmoil, aren't you? You're constantly arguing with yourself. So you have to align your thoughts with what you know is what you need to be doing. A great book for you to read if you procrastinate on things like that is Mel Robbins' 5-Second Rule. It's a great book. It's called 5-Second Rule, Mel Robbins. It is fantastic. But it will help you not to think about it. You know, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, maybe I have a sniffle. Yeah, maybe I have a sniffle. Maybe I shouldn't go and get hot and sweaty. No, Sonya, you don't have a sniffle. It's in your mind. Get your butt up and go. Stop thinking about it. We try to talk ourselves out of what we know we need to be doing. So I want to overcome your fears and your challenges. I want you to write down your fears, 3 or 4 of your fears or challenges, and then I want you to counteract them with an affirmation of something opposite. And then I want you to either download the app. If you have an iPhone, you can download Repeat It Again, Think Up. If you have a Droid, you can download Affirmation Remix. That's one. And be proactive. And see, sometimes we try to work harder and we go, it's just not happening, Jennifer. I've been doing IPAs for 4 months and nothing's happening. And well, maybe instead of working physically harder and more hours, you just need to work more on this so that it works for you. When you start reprogramming your mind, you'll get a phone call out of the blue from someone that you don't even expect. You will go out talking to people, and all of a sudden this person will start talking to you that you're intimidated by. Like, all these things will start happening. I hear hundreds and hundreds of stories after people start using affirmations. I could write a book, 2 books, on all the proof of this pudding. It's the truth. It's biblical. It's scientific. Don't knock it. Try it if you're stuck. Try it if nothing else is working. What's the worst thing that can happen? All right, there's a lot of good books. Let me grab a couple just so you can have them. And you could take a picture of these.
Okay, I can write.
Take a picture of a few of these to see. Yeah. So The Power of Neuroplasticity. This is a new one. Well, it's not new, but it sheds.
Hold on.
It's the later one of What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. The same author. Okay. Now, I hope you've all done this book. You have to do this book.
Yes.
I have a study. Me and Helen did a study on YouTube with that. And we're about to start this again with our team Tuesday night. And then this is a great book. Self-Talk, Soul Talk, Jennifer Rothschild. Great, easy read. So powerful. Switch on Your Brain. That's a very deep book. But it's good as well. Let me let my little dog out.
Okay.
Go on. All right. Okay. So just try affirmations for 30 days. Morning, repeat them in the morning. Listen to them while you're on the treadmill. Listen to them while you're driving down the road. Listen to them while you're at the gym, while you're putting your makeup on. You don't even have to pay attention to them. Put them on while you go to bed. Your subconscious mind will catch it. Don't worry about, I have to listen. Just play them like you're doing music. The Think Up app actually has music with it, someone told me. I need to check that app out, but there's several people using it. So that's good. That's good. All right. The second thing I'm going to talk about, I'm going to go back to self-image. I'm just going to say a couple things on this. You will attract who you are. You will attract who you are, not who you want. John Maxwell has always said that. And so it's like you can't give out to other people what you don't possess. So if you're not a confident, bold, courageous, passionate, humble person, then you're not going to attract that. If you're shy and scared and fearful and timid and like, I don't want to step on anybody's toes, then you're probably not going to attract very many people that way. So you have to become like the person that you want to have on your team and attract. So loving yourself, forgiving yourself, forgiving whoever you need to forgive in your life. Forgiveness, when I forgave my dad a few years ago, it was about me, not my dad. My dad, we would hang up the phone and I would be angry for 3 days. He wasn't angry. He was fine. But all I did for 3 days was complain about my dad. He was fine. He was fine, but I wasn't. So who was it hurting? It was hurting me from receiving blessings and from giving out blessings. So forgive the people you need to forgive. And sometimes it's you. You've not forgiven yourself. You're beating yourself up for not being where you should be. Well, here's the news. You should be where you are. You should be where you are. Until you change your thinking, your actions can't change. So stop beating yourself up. You change your thoughts, you change your behavior. You change your behavior, you change your actions. You change your actions, you change your results. I don't want to say it's not your fault, but maybe you didn't know that, but that's the order it goes in. So I'm hoping maybe if you're stuck, you didn't realize that your own words, your own thinking is the shift that needs to happen to get the results you need. You've got to forgive yourself and that person or those people so you can start having a healthy self-image and attracting those people you want to attract. You got to learn to love yourself. God loves you, and I love you, and your leader loves you. So you have to learn to love yourself. Yeah. All right. You've got to be a visionary. You've got to be able to, thanks, Holly. You've got to be able to, leaders see more than other people see. You know, we had a rough, what was it, 2 years ago, October. Oh boy. Can we just be honest?
PTSD, we decided today, yes.
Listen, that was a rough go. That was a rough first year, especially, like bad. But I'm going to tell you, even though things were rough, I knew we would get through it. Here's the thing. When I joined Mary Kay, we had been in business 25 years. We were in several countries already. The kinks were worked out, okay? I didn't make any money much, but the kinks were worked out, okay? You and I are in the beginning of a company still today. We are not even 10 years old. We are still in the pioneering stage. We're really only penetrated in 11 states. We're not even saturated there. We're just like in them. But we're really only in really hard 11 states. I still go to Nashville, 80 miles away, and I meet people every time I go that have never heard of Plexus. So there's a difference in saturation. I joined Mary Kay at 25 years and earned 10 cars in 17 years. We still weren't saturated after 42 years. So my saying to you is this. We're pioneering a company. Expect kinks. Expect humps in the road. But a true visionary leader just views that differently. You view that with a mindset of this is part of pioneering. This is part of it. One way that I stayed very grounded in that was I always was grateful every day. I went, okay, Sonya, your points have fluctuated because, nothing processed for whatever reason. Nothing is shipping for whatever reason. Okay. You only needed to make this much money to quit your job, and you're still making this much money. And I'm thankful. I'm home in my sweats making money. I'm loving on people. I'm seeing people rank up, getting confident. It's okay. We're going to get through this. So I did a lot of self-talk through that. And, but I didn't quit because I knew it was part of the process. But a lot of people quit. A lot of people quit. And there'll be a lot of people quit all the time. You're going to have people come and go in your life. Nothing surprises me anymore. No one leaving ever surprises me at all. I trust hardly no one to stay. Helen, I know she's not leaving. That's about it. But I'm serious. That's how much people aren't stable and they're not here yet. You got to be there. You've got to say, I'm in it for the long haul. I'm in it. I can see down the road 15 years. You got to be able to see that. Okay. All right. And then the last thing I want to talk about is, this is a tough one. I deal with this. I think if you're human and you're honest, you will deal with ego. Is there someone else not muted? Can you mute yourself? There's a couple of loud. Hang on.
Let me mute everybody.
I'll unmute myself.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, wait, unmute yourself really quick again, and then we're good.
No big deal. Perfect. Okay. Okay, let's talk about ego. Ugh. No one wants to talk about ego or hear about ego, but it's a tough thing to deal with. And I struggle with, I always want to be humble. I always want to be real. I always want to be honest. And so ego, sometimes when you're all going to deal with this as you move up the ladder. You have to know that you have to destroy and kill the ego, because there's no room for ego if you are a servant leader. And if you're not a servant leader, you are a manager. And if you are managing your team, I'll tell you where the danger zone comes in, or it did for me years ago. I arrived, I hit the first leadership position, and I stopped leading by example, because, oh my goodness, I have a team of 30 people now. I won a car, I have 30 people. Well, I need to do something different and teach these people. So I stopped doing what I needed to do to keep it going, which was what I did to get there. And I started managing and training. And guess what? When you have 30 people on your team, you have 3 people that want to work. You have 3. And you have 3 to 5 more that are just going to be your good base every other month, people. And then the rest of them are going out. You have a third coming in, a third doing this, and a third going out. It's just the math. And you cannot change it. So I'll tell you what happened is, when that happened to me and I managed for 3 months, I started feeling really icky about telling them what to do, knowing I wasn't doing it. And God will humble you, and that's exactly what he did. And then you'll miss production, you'll miss your rank, and you're like, what's going on? Never stop doing what you did to get to where you got, that you found joy. If you were joyful and happy and you hit gold, keep doing what's joyful and happy for you, because your people are going to follow you by what you're doing, not what you're saying. So don't stop to manage. Just lead. Just keep leading. I still have a goal every month to sponsor and to get new customers every month. I don't always hit the goal, but I still strive for it, because it makes me feel like I'm doing what I'm asking my people to do, that will give them a feeling of accomplishment. When you have a feeling of accomplishment from your effort, your self-image will be more healthy than if you don't do it, but you're telling someone what to do. You will start questioning your integrity. You will start feeling weird about being the leader, because your integrity will be like kind of compromised. So be humble, be real. People relate to people who are real, not to people who pretend to be someone they're not, or they always have to be and look a certain way before they'll do a video, before they'll go out of their house. Those people relate to less people than people that are like, I'm not wearing makeup, I'm in my sweats. But I've got a lot of moms like that. Just remember that. People want to relate. They want to know you're real. If you feel the need that you have to be in charge and you need people that follow you, then you need to work on your ego. I don't want followers. I want to develop leaders who are better than me, because one day, I've been doing this 29 years. Like, one day soon, I want to be on the beach and no one need me and retire. No one needs me because they're better than me. That's what you want, right? You didn't get into network marketing so you could work really hard till you're 70. I mean, everyone else retires at 65 and 70. We want to retire earlier than that if we can, right? So be comfortable. Be emotional maturity is what you want to strive for. That's a whole nother class. I have all kinds of great points on that. Can't get into that tonight, but that's a great place you want to get to, is where you're comfortable with developing people who are better than you. And that's the way you keep your ego out of the way. So you're at every level of your business, you're going to feel that ego creep up, and you have to then work on that. I promise you, it will always be there, and you have to work on it. So, Jennifer, I have talked for a straight 30 minutes, and I'm going to stop and let you, if you want to ask questions, if you have people that have questions. I've got 10, 12 more minutes that I blocked off till 8:45.
Right.
I wanted to allow anything that, whatever.
And I'll just cut this out, and you guys can ask a question or two if you guys have anything that you're thinking. Let me know if you hear background noise. I thought I did. Okay. But you always talk about change being hard. I think that was a big struggle for me. How to talk to people, just change, getting out of your comfort zone. You always say, if we want change, the pain of change is just as hard as the pain of being the same, right?
Yeah.
And yeah. So can you just kind of talk on that just a little?
Yep. Yeah. Change is hard, but I want you to, whenever you feel like I can't do this, I can't step out of my comfort zone, here's what I want you to ask yourself. So say to yourself, okay, so Becky, if you don't step out of your comfort zone in 20 years, are you going to look back and regret it? The pain of change is hard, but I think the pain of regret is more painful than the pain of change. You have to evaluate that. Be the change. Set the example. I mean, what is the worst thing that can happen if you step out of your comfort zone and you call that person that you have not wanted to call? Here's what I have found that's helped me in those situations. I have said to people, John, I have been putting off calling you for 2 years, for 4 years, because honestly, you intimidate me. You've got it all together. You're an attorney. You make great money. I don't know what your situation is, with your finances, with your home, with your family, but I know on the outside, you got it all together, and I have not wanted to talk with you. And I can't believe I'm even telling you this, but I've got to tell you a little bit about what Plexus has done for me. I don't know if it's for you. It may be for somebody you're connected with that I'm not, but I feel like it's on my heart to talk to you. What is the worst thing? First of all, you've complimented them in the biggest way. You can say to them, I'm scared of you. They're going to say, oh, Sonya, you shouldn't be. Oh, my God. Up. You've built them up, and here you've been honest with them. So that's what I'll say about that. I'll also say that people admire bold people. You may walk away when you talk to someone, and my script that I say to everyone when I'm in a store and I hear someone saying something, or I'm checking out and I say, have you worked here long? And they're like, yeah, it's my second job. And I'm like, oh, you have 2 jobs? Really? So, I connect. I connect with them. I listen to them. I'm like, how long have you had 2 jobs? I ask questions so they know that I care. And then I touch their arm or I touch their hand. Power of touch, it's like 70 or 80% higher that people will respond to you when you touch them. So if it's appropriate and you're in the situation where you can lean over and touch their arm, you can say, you know what, Becky? Because they have a name tag. Look at their name tag. Always say their name if you can. Always. People would rather hear their name as anything else that you say. So I work hard on remembering names. That's one of the things I work really hard on is remember people's names. So look at their name tag and say, you know what, Becky, and touch their arm. I don't know if what I have could help you or not, but it has helped so many people I know that have 2 and 3 jobs. Can I give you my card? So many people I know that have 2 and 3 jobs. Can I just give you my card and you check it out when you're not busy? They are not going to say no because you've asked them questions. Oh, you have migraines? How long have you had migraines? Oh my gosh, since you were 7? Are you on medication? Do you have to watch what you eat? Oh, you know what, Becky? I'm not sure if what I have can help you or not, but it has helped so many people I know with migraines. Can I give you my card and you just check it out when you're not busy? Oh, yeah, what is it? I use that with everybody because it's so, but I also do the touch, the questions, the looking them in the eye, slowing down my talking. It's truly body language. It's a skill that you can master, but it's very convicting and it works. So yeah, I have no idea how I got off on that, but I think it's important to understand. Yes, I get their information. I do get their information, Catherine. I'll say, if they say, what is it? Or who are you with? What is it? I'll say, it's Plexus. Have you ever heard of it? And they go, no. I go, you know what? Are you on Facebook? Yeah, you are? Great. You know what? Here. I go, you know what? Here. Just friend me right here. So I go right to my page and the space bar up there, the search bar. I go, here, just type your name in. I'm going to friend you. And you know what, Becky? I won't bug you. I'm not that kind of person. But what will happen is you'll be able to be connected with me. You can watch all my posts. Sometimes I post stuff about what we talked about. But if you ever need me or you're curious or you have questions, you'll be able to get in touch with me. That's what I say. And so that's how I do it. Oh, you're not on Facebook? Do you have email? Do you have Instagram? Oh, super. You know what? If you'll give me your email, I'll send you a couple great articles with people I know that have migraines. I'll send you their testimony. I'll send you a couple of videos. I'm not going to bug you. I'm not that kind of person. I don't have time for it. I don't believe in it. But you'll have my email if you ever have any questions or anything. They will do it if you go through that complete technique. Okay? Does that help, Jen?
Yes. And I mean, that's exactly what I used to learn from you in the beginning. Like, I was like, it's her accent. It just makes it all sound so much better. But then I just learned, seriously, I mean, I would just do whatever you said. But, just learning how to talk. I think it's because I'm yellow as well, but just learning how to not be salesy. And it is about being people-centered and not you-centered and leaning in and your eyes lighting up and it doesn't matter if you know ingredients. It doesn't matter if you're an introvert. It doesn't matter if you're a big business, go-getter.
No.
It's that you care, and that's what you emulate so well. And
that's it. And I've always heard this and said this. I learned it in Mary Kay. Somebody said it. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And it's such a cheesy line, but it's probably the most truthful line in the world. What we can do sometimes is we can vomit Plexus on people. They say, yeah, I have migraines, and we go, oh, you have a migraine. Oh my gosh, don't move. I got to go get you something out of my car. Oh my gosh, I've got 7 people this week that have and they're going, okay, lady, excuse me. But instead we stop, we care, and we listen and we ask questions. I mean, you got it, Jen. You're a master at that because you're that way when we're talking. Like, you're always like about who you're talking to. So I know you are with strangers.
Well, and I just think we get in our own heads and get scared to talk to people, think we're being salesy, and we just have to look at the big picture and be others focused. And that's a big thing for people. It's just they're not thinking of you. They're not judging you. They're not thinking you're selling to them. If you're just asking questions, you care and ask questions. You're being authentic. It's everything. And so,
exactly.
Oh my gosh,
I love it.
Oh my gosh,
I love it.
Well,
yeah, someone was just out. Yeah, I'll finish with that. How do you feel about leading with the business first, like she stresses in the book? Well, I haven't read the book, but I heard it was a good book. I don't see any reason in not leading with the business. When someone talks about they work all the time or they're tired or whatever they say, I'm like, you know what? I don't know if you've ever heard of Plexus, but it absolutely changed my financial picture. I couldn't get my head above water, and it changed everything. Tell me a little bit more about your situation. I'm not sure if this is for you, but tell me more about your situation. So sometimes when you say, I don't know if this is for you, what that does, it does two things. I don't know if this is for you. What it does is it immediately takes their defense down, because you didn't say, oh, you'd be perfect for this. You said, I don't know if this is for you or not, but tell me a little bit more about your situation. So they go, okay. They feel free to, because they don't think you're about to attack them. So it lets the fence down. The second thing it does, it went away. Hang on. Oh, it shows your confidence. It shows you are qualifying them for what you do. So I think it's very good to lead with the business if you feel led to lead with the business. I've even said to people before, and I touch them, Susie, I don't know if anybody's ever told you this, but I'm sure they have. You're amazing with people. Like, you are one of the best customer service people that I've ever run across. In that, I'm going to say this, and I normally don't ever come out and say this, but you would be dynamic in the business I'm in. And I normally don't say it because I truly qualify people for the business, but you would be dynamic. Like, don't be afraid to be bold and say that. And the worst thing they can say is, oh, thank you so much. What do you do? I'm with a company called Plexus. We market health and wellness products. Oh, you're with one of those companies. I could never do that. You know what? If you feel that way, you're probably right. Tell me about your experience with those kind of companies. Tell me what bad experiences you've had. Because when people say to you, I could never do one of those things, instead of convincing them and defending yourself, take a step back and pull it away from them and say, you know what, you may be right, but tell me where your bad experiences come from. What makes you say that? And let them open up. Again, I could go on. Literally, I could talk for an hour on that. I'm going to stop. We've went long enough, but oh my gosh, I get so passionate about all this conversation stuff.
And that's it. And that's what I was actually going to end with, was just because I knew you would be passionate. And that's the thing, y'all. Like, we always say, that is really what sets people apart in Plexus. Like, people that have been successful, or just with anything, is passion. It's just passion. It's not all the other stuff. It's not what you know. It's not what you sometimes what you do. It's just bringing things with passion, because that's what people are attracted to. And so we just love you. You're a gift to us, company-wide. You always have been. You are just a gift to show us how to do things the right way and have vision and get out of our own heads so we can make a difference for people, because that's why we're here. And just love you so much. And thank you for taking time out to
I enjoyed it.
And build this up. And oh my goodness, I can't get enough of you, even years later. So,
well, I love you. It's just years of lessons and hard lessons, and I love to pass them on. So I love to save other people from having to go through some of the stuff I went through. So thank you, Jen, for having me on. It's good to see all of you, and
girl,
thank you for your time, and hopefully you'll take some nuggets and go back and look at your notes and put some things to use, because it doesn't matter how much you know, it's what you do with what you know. So kudos to you. It's November the 1st. We got a great month, so go make it happen. Love you guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sonya.
Thank you.
Oh, isn't she so good? Oh, my word. Hold on. Can y'all hear me? I didn't mute. Yeah. Let me do. Okay, there we go. Oh, she's so good. Did y'all have any like ahas, takeaway, like anything that just got you? I mean, everything she says. Oh, and I've heard a lot of that so many times, but it still resonates with me, depending on what's going on, or an experience I had with so-and-so, a week ago, or, something that I've just been mulling over. That is the exact kind of stuff that I need to keep going and keep the big picture in mind, because we really do get in our own heads. And she has done personal growth and development for like 20 years. And, you know, she's John Maxwell certified. So she goes around teaching this stuff, and she's just got a gift for getting in there and really, you know, getting down to what's keeping us stuck, I think. So I just adore her. Did anybody have anything?
Makes me want to go look up her old YouTube videos.
Yeah, you need to look up her. Yes.
They're all gone. They're so non-compliant. They're all gone.
Well, there's still a lot there, though. But there were some I was looking up the other day, and I was like, oh, my gosh, what I wouldn't give to see some of those old ones. But she does have
I will say real quick something that you guys could invest your time in. And it's that what to say when you talk to yourself. I did watch that entire series. They're long. They're an hour-long Zooms. But it's really, really good. You can go to Sonya's YouTube, or you can go to, I think Helen's, but Sonya's, and then you have to search mindset or what to say when you talk to yourself, and then you click on that, and it's a sub. Underneath it is like 6, 8, 10 videos. Mm-hmm. So it was really good. Some of them were kind of a snooze fest, but it was good. You just have to be ready and dedicated for an hour, because they are an hour plus long. And they're kind of deep, some of them are.
Yeah, she can go deep. And I think it's 8 weeks. Yeah.
You know what I thought was really interesting is that she was talking about how we're still in the pioneering stages of this company. And I think I forget sometimes, like I will freely admit I'm a 5-year person. 5 years in a district, I'm done. Moving on. I'm done. So for me, it's, you know, like being in this for 3 years seems like I've been in this for a long time. And I kind of forget that we're not even at 10 years. And like she was saying, there's only 11 states that what was the word she used? There's only 11 states that we've
we're in, we have power. Yeah, we have power.
Right. And I think, I mean, obviously, you know, where I'm at is not overloaded with Plexus by any means. And so I talk to people all the time that are like, what? I've never heard of that. What's that? But I think when we see each other's posts all the time on Facebook and stuff, we forget that it's not saturated at all, that we are still in those pioneering stages. So to think of it like that, and then to think of the upcoming back office as just a hiccup as part of being a pioneer in this company, I love that. That is a perfect way to look at this coming up. You know what I mean? Like, we're new. We're still babies. I thought that was awesome. That really hit me.
You can almost take it like teaching, and you can revert it back, because I opened a brand new school. I'd been teaching for 10 years, and I opened a brand new school, and it was crazy that, yes, it was a school. Yes, it was a district that was well established. But when you do something new, when you take on a new piece, it took time.
Right.
Even the same thing, nothing changed. It still took time to get all the kinks worked out, the traffic patterns, the this, the that. I mean, like, that's just what we kind of, nothing really changed. I was still an educator. I still had the same thing. The kids were still kids. And that's the same thing we're going to go through. You know, our products are still our products. Our people are still our people. It's just kind of a little detour, and we just have to be patient with that.
Right.
And that's what I loved about her.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, even thinking about like when I first started, like putting together a binder like this big of stuff that I had printed out that I was like, everyone should know this. And then sent out like $9 billion worth of binders to people in different states. And then, you know, like a month later, I'm like, oh crap. So I got to change that now. So, okay. So, hey, remember that sheet that you had behind this one? If you could like redo that and then put this one, I mean, just to think how far we've come even in 3 years is just huge. Thank God we're not sending binders out to people, but you know.
We were the post office's best, worst friend.
Seriously. I had them on my floor, all the 3 rings open and pages printed out, all the colored tabs. I mean, really, yes, so much. And it's just, and that's what perspective she gave in the beginning too, was network marketing. Like even today, I don't know what's normal. I don't know how we are set apart, but I do know, you know, I didn't, but now hearing from the pioneers, we have a handful that were very successful in other companies, but the comp plan wasn't there. It didn't line up, but they over and over every turn go on and on about how we are different. We are set apart. Corporate is different. Our comp plan is different. What they do, where they show up, when they pay 3 days early, when it's not about the bottom line for them. They prove that over and over again, all the time, and always have. And she really set that vision for me in the beginning. And like you said, Joe, like with any of the dips and any of the struggles, we are new. And so we know that they're doing the best they can to make it right and get through the kinks. And we had website problems before the new back office because we were so inundated with orders. We were so, we would crash the website every sale. We still do. I mean, that's a good problem to have. And when we didn't have shipping go out, our people were missing their products. I mean, I was just talking about that. Like me and Leslie were everybody was sending out products to people because they were in pain or having this come back. And it just I was looking for the positives. Like, you know what? It's showing how much the products do for people. Like, you forget sometimes. So it's just those little things, but it means good things. We're just growing faster and we're trying to keep up with that. And I think they're doing a phenomenal job. We're trying to, we just need to kind of keep that in mind this week as we transition to the new back office too. Next week, right? Yeah. So, well, anything else you guys wanted? I know we've already been on here and the World Series is on. I wasn't planning on that happening. Sorry, y'all. But it was great. It was amazing. And yes, change is hard, but regret is more painful. Just right. It's so true. I mean, it is hard. It's like pick your hard, like they say. And it's hard, but it's personal growth attached to a comp plan. That is what, Alec Clark always talks about plexus kind of being. And it's true. We all, Sonya would always say, I don't care how fast you rank up, everyone will come to that point where they have got to do the work and they've got to change and they've got to do that work where they're stuck. And then you're going to get stuck again. And then you're going to hit another lid. And that is what happens. But I always tell people I'm applying everything I'm learning in plexus to everything in my life. I really am. It applies across the board with my marriage, with my family, with friendship, with money, with just getting up and working out like she talked about. So it's just so valuable to go through this personal growth. And so y'all look her up because she does have some great videos still up that's so good. And get to those books. I need to write that one down that she talked about. I had actually never heard of that one.
When it was upside down?
Yeah, the one that was upside down.
Power of neuroplasticity.
Something. Yeah. Can a green read that and then translate? Sounds like switch on your
neuroplasticity.
There it is.
I'll read that and I'll do the cliff notes because that word is very big.
Yeah, we are special. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I might get on that. I'm just excited to find a book that I haven't touched yet. So, but yeah. Okay, guys. Well, I'll let y'all off of here. I know it's 9 o'clock, but thank y'all for jumping on. I'm just excited. She was amazing. So, all right, guys. Thank y'all. Love y'all.
Bye.